Welcome to
Hey,
Youth.
woo, woo, woo. Youth
Welcome
Live.
back. It is good to see you all. Well, not really, but I can see you in the chat. Give a shout out in the chat if you're here.
I can see them through the camera lens
Right
for
through the
sure.
camera.
Yeah,
We
I can
see
see
you.
Pete Stain right now, just sitting in front of his computer, eating his dinner. I don't know, actually. I'm just making this
He
up.
might be. I hope he's online.
He normally is, and he's normally doing that. So, shout out to my guys as well in particular.
Good.
Thanks for tuning in. It's a special night tonight, isn't it, Ellen?
It is. It's a really special night. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
Freedom Week.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of the best week that I've had in a while.
yeah.
What about you, Max?
Restrictions eased on Monday. Very, very nice. I went to a cafe.
Oh my gosh.
And sat down and used someone else's cutlery and someone else's plate and someone else's cup,
That
not
is
from my
so
house.
weird.
And not takeaway, not paper. I thought that was the
It
best
feels
thing.
it feels kind of illegal. Hey, it just like
yeah.
I went to a restaurant the other night and I ordered without a mask.
Oh,
It was weird.
dangerous.
Yeah, it was.
That's very
It was.
dangerous.
And they didn't say anything. And I was like, I guess this is allowed. I'm not.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited. Maybe put in the chat what you guys have been up to.
Yeah. What have you been celebrating or been doing different? Maybe your family's been doing something a little different to, I don't know, make the most of the new situation. Ellen, before we started, before just this thing right now, we were chatting, and I was asking you what your best holiday ever was, and sort of the thought was if restrictions are easing and we can go international holidaying again, or domestic, that's fine too, and you've got unlimited funds. And wherever you say you're going, your family has to go to. You get to decide what holiday are you going on. And for you at home, type that in the chat. We want to know. You've got unlimited funds. You get to decide whether your next holiday is as a family. Type it in. Let us know. Where are you going on unlimited funds holiday?
I have so many. Oh my gosh. What about you? What would you do, Max?
I prepared earlier a photo to share with you right here. You might be wondering what this is. This is, I don't know, I think this is self-deprecating and maybe a little embarrassing. But this is the Star Wars, I don't know what they call it, Galactic Experience Holiday or Hotel or something at Disney World that they just announced a little while ago. Anyway, it's a full Star Wars spaceship that you stay in. It's a holiday, it's a hotel, it's an experience. Anyway, it looks pretty cool. It's made me seem like a massive nerd. But
amazing.
yeah, it's pretty cool. That's a pixelated photo of it.
I like the little pod bed thing.
Yeah,
beds.
it's
They're
actually
great.
being on a spaceship.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
so
Although I don't know if I'd fit. I just would be cramped and claustrophobic.
Yeah, it looks a tiny bit small.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh
is
no,
it-
that's
is
not
that
a bed. That can't
Is that
be a bed.
Or is that a tissue
doesn't
box? I can't tell.
It doesn't look comfortable. I gotta say that.
No, it
But you
doesn't.
can probably sit in there or
Yeah.
put stuff in there.
So I'd do that. I'd spend a long time at Disneyland or something like
yeah,
that. That'd be
a long
mine.
time at Disneyland.
What about you,
'Cause
Ellen?
love Disneyland. Hey, I've thought about it. I think my family's big on relaxing holidays, but I actually really love hiking holidays and fun adventure holidays.
Wow.
And my family would not get around that, so I would just drag them on a completely Ellen-centered holiday where we just go and do fun hiking trips and I don't know, go sailing, maybe New Zealand or something.
Cool.
We go skiing. I've never been skiing. I've only seen snow once, but I probably like skiing.
So your unlimited funds holiday is going on a school camp.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Absolutely.
That's amazing.
I love school camps.
If you want to make Ellen's day someone at home, just invite Ellen on your next school camp.
Literally,
and
I'll go.
You made her
I'm
year.
there.
Amazing.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. That sounds amazing.
That's so good. Hey, a special welcome to you at home. If this is your first time maybe joining, maybe a friend sent you the link and this is your first time joining, you're sort of wondering what we're doing here. Yeah, just welcome to St. Matt's Youth Alive. It's going to be a good night. We're going to move on to our first activity,
Yes.
which is, what is it, Ellen? Can you...
It is Guess the Celebrity Sibling.
Da, 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 da,
Woo,
da.
who's that sibling?
Ooh.
I'm super excited, except that I don't know the names of celebrities. I could recognize them.
Or
I
their
could not
siblings.
tell you what their names are. So I'm worried about their siblings because I don't even know them. So I'm nervous. Are you, Max?
I'm very nervous. Very nervous. We had a test just before of sort of pre-game that
The easy one.
Stu, who's sort of sitting over there, sort of showed me the easy one, and I was so far off.
I have no idea who he was. I've
Yeah.
seen him. I have no idea. So
So this is going to be very interesting, but it's for you to join at home as well. Head to ahaslides.com/youthlive, no vowels, because youth live. And we're going to be playing together. I think the idea is we're going to play together as well. Is that?
Yeah. Hey guys, Stu here, by the way. Everyone on the stream, you can hear me. Hey, just talking the bodiless voice. It is on the AHA slides, so if those people go to that website, they'll be able to play along. And it's a bit of leaders versus youth, isn't it, guys?
Leaders versus youth. So that's exactly right. That is exactly right. And actually, you might have been wondering what these things here are.
Uh-oh.
These have something to do with it. I don't know if we can get a close-up. No, we can't. I know we can't, but if we could. Woo. This is tinned asparagus. Cuts and tips.
And we've got chicken in a can.
Tinned
with
chicken.
Light mayo.
Yuck. That, and then the other food item here is Haribo Gold Bears.
Delicious.
The best
My
lolly
favourite.
ever invented.
Absolutely.
Now you're wondering why they're there. What's going to happen is me and Ellen are going to be playing, and we're going to be versing you guys at home. And if we don't get in the leaderboard in the top 5.
20.
Top 5. All right, we're going
5?
easy.
Top
That's
10?
That's easy mode.
Top 5. If we don't get in the top 5, then we have to eat live for your viewing pleasure at home, either the tinned asparagus or the chicken mayo.
We'll put up a vote, and you'll
and-
be able to decide.
And you get to decide which one is going to be our lose. But if we get in the top 5, the Haribo Gold Bears are ours. So that's going to be, the pressure is on. The pressure is on.
I'm really excited to eat
Yeah.
some gummy bears.
Yeah,
I
yum.
hope.
And so to clarify, the way this is going to work is we're going to see the photo of the sibling.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sibling.
Is
And
it-
then we got to guess who the famous person is.
Is that right? Should we see the famous person or the famous person's sibling?
There will be a picture up on screen, and the famous person will be covered up.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
And you've
so we
got to
do see
guess
the
who
sibling.
that famous person is based on their sibling who you can see. So you've got to look for family resemblances. Some of them might be obvious, some of them might be hard.
This is great.
And the people at home, there's 21 people who have made a little quiz account so far, so keep logging in. They also have to guess who that famous sibling is that is covered up. They have to type that name in. And I just realized that I didn't write down everyone's name in terms of when we do see this famous sibling. So you're going to have to take my word for it once we get into it.
Nice.
But,
nice.
I'm looking forward to this.
This is amazing. Very,
Alright.
very organised,
I'm
as you
super
can tell
excited.
right now. Me and Ellen, we're going to log in too.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, I'm going to join. I'll join.
No, you guys.
Oh, we're just... Never mind.
Oh,
Okay.
we'll stay in person. Stu is going to count the scores. This sounds very rigged.
Yeah, of course I'll count your scores.
Uh-oh.
Nice.
Uh-oh.
Are we ready to start? Are we ready to
I think
start?
we are. Let's get up
I'm
the
excited.
first.
Let's do it.
The first
Here we go.
celebrity
First
sibling.
celebrity, hit us.
All right, so this is the celebrity, and apparently he has a celebrity brother. I know who this is because I googled it beforehand because this was this is Dave Franco. Is that right?
This is an easy way in because the sibling happens to be a celebrity also. Usually the sibling you will see, you probably haven't seen before.
Yeah,
But this
yeah.
time we're just easing in.
So I assume we need a celebrity with the last name Franco. What's the other Franco guy's name?
I have absolutely no idea.
I don't know
saw.
either.
So this is the one that we saw before, just the
Stu, you
first
picked
one.
the wrong people for this
I
game.
thought this was Zac Efron.
Looks like we're gonna be using those
I'm so
punishments,
far
y'all.
out of this game.
Something Franco. That it obviously rings an enormous bell.
We're going to
but
go Mr. Franco.
Mr.
I
Franco.
need, I need a first name.
Mr.
Come on.
Franco.
Frank Franco.
Frank
Frank
Franco.
Franco.
Frank
Frank
Franco.
Franco.
Lock it in.
Whew,
Lock it in,
alright.
Eddie.
The answer, of course, is James Franco.
Oh,
Makes
James
more sense.
Franco.
Okay.
And look, a decent
Wow.
amount of people.
They do look similar. They're
Four
very
This
people
guy.
got it right on the
Wow.
Okay.
on the stream. So
All right, we get it.
IDK. The
Well
person who
done.
voted for IDK, I resonate
I
with
really,
you
yeah.
very strongly. I'm sad no one wrote Zac Efron.
All right, let's go number 2. Let's keep this thing moving.
Oh,
What?
surely that's Justin Bieber's brother?
No, that looks exactly like Emma Watson, but in a
What?
in a guy.
Oh.
That's Emma Watson's
You
sibling.
are right.
There's-
That
I'm-
is
You can't tell me otherwise.
That is so good.
Lock it in.
actually.
Emma Watson's sibling.
Emma Watson.
That's like exactly her, but the male version.
They're going for it. Now, here's the loophole that I haven't realised. If you get these right, you're helping everyone beat you in the leaderboard.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
So,
Oh no.
I don't know. Maybe
I'm sorry,
maybe
Max.
you've got to like. They've got 30 seconds to answer, so maybe you have to like ponder your answer
Okay.
for a bit, so
Yeah.
you don't give it
Yes.
away too early. So
Yes.
I don't know. We'll see
So
how we go.
I'm actually now thinking that it's not that. I
I'm
definitely
still
think the
thinking
Justin
it's
Bieber
Justin
thing.
Bieber.
Well,
It's
look,
definitely Justin
16
Bieber.
of them got it correct, and the answer is, of course, Emma Watson.
Sorry,
So one of
Max,
the
I'm
16
sorry.
people online who
Oh,
got
no.
that one.
Hermione. Emma Watson's sibling. I don't know. Okay, yeah. So to clarify for that one person, so you just got to guess the famous person who's
Yeah.
covered up, not the sibling's name. It's all right. You don't need to know the sibling's name. Just the famous person.
They look so similar.
It's surprising. He has longer hair than
shocked.
she does.
Yeah.
It's a little spooky, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is
All right,
really
let's go.
spooky.
Let's go to the next one.
Here we go. Who have we got? Okay, no giving it away, Ellen.
I don't
No giving it away.
I don't know. They
Um,
have options. It's not fair.
I'm.
They've got to type it in.
No, they've got to
got
type
it
it
as hard
in.
as you.
They have to type it in. Yeah. I'm thinking maybe Harry Styles.
Harry
There's a bit of
Styles.
style in the hair there, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. Those.
Maybe look at like the setting. Where are they? Does that
Yeah.
help at all?
Well, they're probably in an award
Surely-
show,
yep,
which could be
awards show.
literally any famous person.
I don't know. This
Literally any famous-
this chair here in front makes it sort of look like it could be a roller coaster ride.
That can't be true.
It's what I'm.
There's not.
With a
there's
lot
like
of people behind them.
10,000 people
10,000
behind them.
people
Man,
on a
I
roller
feel-
coaster.
It's not
to
a
be
roller
honest,
coaster
I feel
ride.
like this one is about as easy as the last one.
What?
It's a female, just so you know. Only one person got it right on the stream, so maybe that's completely wrong and it's not as easy. Well, obviously it's not as easy.
Okay, let's lock it in. Let's lock it in. Who are we going for?
Have a guess.
Yeah, let's go for Harry Styles.
Harry
sibling. Well, it's
Styles.
not- Elliot's just said in the chat that it's not Harry.
It's not Harry.
Who is
well,
it?
Well, Harry's not.
Taylor
Taylor
Swift.
Look
No
at the
way.
exact
Doesn't
same
look
face.
anything like Taylor Swift.
I didn't even know that she had siblings or
See?
relatives at all, to be honest.
They don't
The thought hadn't
similar
crossed
at
my
all.
mind.
That's part of
Taylor
the trick.
Swift.
One person got Taylor Swift. I'm very
Wow.
impressed.
I'm
part
glad
of
that
the part of the you got to figure it out.
I'm
What
glad
about
that
this one?
people. I'm glad that people
Ooh.
went with Harry Styles. With me.
Okay.
That was good.
This is hard on purpose, by the way.
Hard on
Shouldn't be
purpose.
easy.
Okay.
I'm getting Ed Sheeran vibes.
Surely not.
Have you ever seen
Where
Ed
are you
Sheeran in
getting
your
that
life
from?
before?
Does she just look kind of English?
Yep. Just like
Pretty
fair
sure
complexion.
Yeah.
she and the sibling are British. Oh, maybe
Okay,
not.
so
British.
It
No, no, no,
could
maybe
be Ed Sheeran.
See, I'm onto something
think-
here.
look
Ed
like
They
Sheeran.
are.
Sheeran.
The
Vote
sibling is
one.
in a movie where he has a British accent.
Vote
But
one.
I'm
Ed
not
Sheeran.
sure he's
Could
actually
be
British.
anyone.
Now I think about it.
What about the guy who plays Edward Cullen
Oof.
in
Oh,
Twilight?
Robert Patterson.
Robert Patterson. Let's go Robert Patterson.
Robert Patterson.
Is it Robert Patterson?
It's Elijah Wood.
Oh, no. I
Oh.
definitely.
Mrs. Frodo. Look at that.
I think Elijah Wood is English.
I don't even know who
There you
Elijah
go.
Wood
Look,
is.
the English thing wasn't obviously a help anyway because
Ed Sheeran.
nobody got it right.
Eyes.
So
Ed Sheeran.
It's in the eyes.
It's in the
That's
eyes.
amazing. Wow.
this is a game where we're obviously seeing that the opposite way you
Who's-
see a lot more. Than
Who's voting for
Wow.
the things that I say? Like, you guys are not winning with that. Just pro
All right, let's
tip
go.
right
Let's
here.
go next one.
Oh.
Okay.
This guy's name is Doug. I'll give you like
Doug.
as in
Doug.
the sibling's name is Doug. I find that very funny, and you'll find out why once
Oh.
you see who the sibling is.
The sibling's name is. So this guy's
Brad
name's
Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Straight up.
Doug
Straight up.
and Brad.
I'm
yeah.
fairly sure he has a
Yeah.
brother called Doug.
That adds up.
I am
That
legitimately
totally
sure
adds up.
he has
I
a
can
brother
see
called
it.
Doug.
He does look a bit like.
And Stu's gone very quiet,
I don't know.
which definitely means I've nailed it on the head with another schmozzle.
He looks like. Oh, what's that guy's name?
For the person who went with Ed Sheeran, put it in. Brad Pitt, be my score. Be my score.
Maybe it is. Yeah, he looks like Brad Pitt a little bit.
Well, let me tell you, you are correct, along with 10
Oh,
people on the
wow.
stream.
Yes.
So well done. See, you gave the answer away. You're building your
That's-
competition. You're
No,
making
it's
it more
good.
likely that you're going to get
Well
a
done.
can of tuna, chicken,
Braggly.
asparagus.
I'm just happy that I got one right.
I'm
Well
impressed. Well done. I'm very impressed. Well done, those 10 people who got it right.
Thank
on
you,
the stream
Stu's
as well.
voice. Thank you, the voice of Stu.
All right.
He's wearing a hat, sort of like
It's hard to-
USA maybe vibes,
I think
foresty
it's a
background.
guy. I can't really tell.
That is a
Yeah,
guy
It's definitely a guy.
with the hat.
No, not.
The sibling is
I meant
also a
the
guy.
sibling.
The sibling's a guy.
Not him.
The,
Yes.
the covered up person's a guy.
Nice.
I don't know what he. There's light on the screen. I don't know what he looks like.
Good clarification. Oh, actually, you know who it feels like? Like the dude. Do you know the dude from The Office? You
John
know, who
Krasinski?
like throws stuff and like.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I'm aging myself. You know, yeah, you know, like the guy with the hair and the stubble.
Jim.
It's that dude.
All right, you're looking in John Krasinski, Jim off The Office.
Yes.
Is that your
Jim
answer?
from
Final
The
answer?
Office.
It was Zac Efron. You said it before for like 3 other answers, and now you've only just got it.
How is that Zac Efron?
They don't even look similar.
Oh yeah. Let's go to the next one.
Is his name Jack Efron? That would be hilarious. Zac and Jack. This dude.
Oh.
This one's
Okay.
tricky. I think this one is the hardest one out of all of them, to be honest.
it?
Second last one, by the way.
Because I'm waiting for 30 seconds, but
Two
I
to
don't know
go.
if I'm right.
Try out.
I'm
Oh,
wondering-
Ellen's got a guess.
Just
Give it a
whisper
go,
it.
Ellen.
Whisper
I
it to
reckon-
me.
No, say it out loud. I want to hear. There's enough time on the clock that it'll be fine.
Oh, that's
Do you think that it looks like Jim Carrey's brother?
I have been called a doppelganger of Jim Carrey.
That cannot be true. Max.
Really?
Yeah,
By
100%. People have come up to me on the street and said, "Are you Jim Carrey?" It's actually happened.
Do you guys believe that? I don't
Once.
believe that. Once. It happened once.
That's
So you're
more
looking at
than
Jim
0.
Carrey? Jim Carrey, final answer?
Yeah, let's go Jim Carrey.
Incorrect. It is
Oh.
Ralph Fiennes, Voldemort himself.
Oh.
Voldemort's brother, just
Wow.
hanging out.
He doesn't even look like Voldemort.
Does that make him Harry Potter? I obviously haven't seen
How
the
did
movies.
two people
Potter's
get
not
this?
Voldemort's
Two people got
brother.
You were Googling this. I don't believe you.
Zoe
Two
Deschanel.
people got
Someone
it right
guessed,
in the thing. I'm very impressed.
Someone
I can
guessed
see
Zoe
why you
Deschanel.
guessed
That's
her.
hilarious.
Actually, that's true.
Guys, we're up to our last one, and this one, you get 2 siblings to look at.
Oh.
2 siblings to try and figure out who the covered up famous sibling is.
Slicked
This
hair.
is hard.
Is it a guy or a girl?
Yeah, give us a hint.
All right, it's a guy.
It's a
It's
guy.
a guy.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a dude man.
I feel these eyes look familiar.
They do.
They look like human eyes.
So it's a human that we're working with.
I think so. It's not a lizard. Let's go. I don't know. It feels like one of the Hemsworths. You know.
No, because these are none of the Hemsworths.
All
not
the
the
Hemsworths are
Hemsworths.
famous.
True.
Yeah, I should have done
All
that
of
one
them are
first.
famous.
You know the
Related
Hemsworths.
cousin of Liam Hemsworth.
It's a siblings game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this meant to be easy, Stu?
No, not at all. But 2 people got it right on the stream, which
What?
I'm very impressed with.
Wow. I wish I could see the
I
answers.
think that they're cheating.
Someone tell me in the chat. I'm saying I got it right. Jim, this is the ninja from...
No,
It's
no.
not the ninja from Fortnite. I'm not falling for that.
All right, lock an answer in.
I
Take a
know.
stab.
Let's go Liam Hemsworth. Done. Locked in.
It's obviously not Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah, but that's the
It's
best.
Chris Evans.
Oh, the ideal
You
man.
can kind of see it
The-
now, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the hair. Yeah.
It's the eyes. I told you
Wow.
I'd seen the eyes. Wow, well done.
Man.
Captain America.
Look, that was who's that sibling? It's time to look at the leaderboard. Are you ready for this?
That was
Wow.
good. Where are we placing ourselves, Ellen?
How many did you get right? 2?
Let's see the leaderboard.
Did
Let's
you get
see
2
it.
or 3 right? Was it 2 right?
We got
okay.
we got all of them
We
right.
did great.
All right, ready? Leaderboard's coming up.
Let's show us. Here we go. The anticipation is building.
Leader
Oh.
Pete with the
Oh,
victory.
Pete.
Leader Pete,
Incredible.
classic. Bring it home. Chloe got
Okay,
3
we got
points.
Chloe.
Mia 3 points.
three.
Will 3 points.
Look, that means
2
if you
points.
got 2 correct,
Okay.
you placed
We placed
equal 5th with everyone else.
equal
Oh.
5th. Wait,
Top. Does
top
that
5,
mean?
Which
right?
I personally think if
Top
we're
5.
going off alphabetical order,
Whoa.
Max
Whoa.
comes after Jake. And so you didn't come top 5.
Equal 5th is definitely still equal 5th.
I'm happy with that. I'm
Equal-
very happy with that.
So do we win?
Guys,
Yeah.
let us know in the chat if they came top 5 or
Yeah,
not.
you tell us. I think we should get to eat
Equal
the
top
Haribo.
5 with like
Top 5, we did
6
okay.
people.
Gummy bears.
Does that count as top 5? Max says no.
Max,
says no.
don't appreciate.
Max says no.
No.
Max is a liar. Eat the food, Tina.
Who's Tina?
Who's Tina?
My name isn't Tina, Pete. We've
Yeah,
been.
yeah, Tina.
What?
Yeah, come on, Tina. You eat
You've
that.
known me for ages.
You eat the
We have
Asparagus. Okay, we'll open up. What are we opening up?
Samantha's the only person who says that you're all good.
I
Thank
think
you.
we're good.
You know
Thank you,
what?
Samantha.
Everyone, majority rules. So we're saying that you have lost and you need to eat one of your punishment prizes. Now, everyone, on the AHA Slides thing, you get to pick the punishment. Vote for your favorite punishment, which you want to make these peeps eat, either tinned asparagus or tinned chicken.
And just a word from our sponsors. I'm so disappointed in you for not saying that we totally were in the top 5.
Yeah.
Totally. Tin
It's
chicken.
neck and neck, man.
Oh, it's neck and neck. Tin chicken,
Ooh.
7 points.
It is
Come
not
on.
neck and neck.
Should have got some chicken necks.
Up
You
the
can
tinned
eat those.
asparagus. It's so
Come on,
much
guys.
better.
Tinned asparagus. I don't want to get food poisoning.
Okay, I think we're eating raw chicken. Let's do it. It's not raw.
not raw.
It's raw. We're not going
Is
to
it
kill you.
Oh, tinned
Is it-
chicken. Are you sure? Got my fork ready.
Shreds of chicken breast. Here we go. Heinz.
not
Let's
even-
open it up.
13 votes for chicken now.
I feel like this
And a
is gonna
measly
smell
5
bad.
for asparagus.
Not looking forward to this.
It looks really bad. Can I get a
You know,
close
yeah.
up of this?
Yum, yum, yum.
It smells like cat food.
Oh no.
I don't know if it's going to be beautifully unfocused. And if I stand here,
I mean, it looks gross.
at
even though
that.
it's not focused.
look at that cat food. Yum.
Ooh.
I feed that to my literal cats.
Right.
It's not good.
I'm not.
Ellen, you first.
Okay. Together.
It's like if you've seen those like videos on, together on 3 and then just only one of them runs or jumps or whatever it is. Oh,
We can do a cheers.
yum. This is, I don't want that much. Cheers. Mmm. I'm actually hungry, so it's quite good.
It tastes like tuna.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned about that actually. It just tastes like mayonnaise with tuna.
Like it tastes exactly like tuna.
I'm definitely just having some more.
Oh.
What's next, Ellen? You tell us. Why
Um,
my tuna?
Next up. Oh.
It's chicken.
Okay, that was delicious. I loved it. Thank you so much for voting for that. It was great.
Thank you. Genuinely.
Next up, we are going to be hearing from the Bible because that's why we're here.
Oh.
That's why we're here at Youth, to hear from the Bible. And we have a very special guest that's going to be reading the Bible for us tonight.
We do. That guest
who-
is dun, 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 Honor
Honor
Edel. It's an
Edels.
honor for you
It's
to
an
be with
honour.
us.
Hey.
Honor. I don't know if I think this is the little.
Can you see us?
Can you see us? Hey.
Hi.
Nice. Honor, it's an honor to have you with us on the desk. I'm sorry, I know, I think I use that joke every time I see you. It must get very old. I apologize. Bit of chicken. Ellen, you can take over.
All right. Anna, we asked at the beginning of the stream what everyone's ideal holiday was. A few people put it in the chat. What is your ideal holiday? If you had unlimited funds, if you could go anywhere you wanted, no COVID restrictions, no nothing, you got to bring your family. That's the only rule. Where would you go? What would you do?
I'd probably go to Hawaii. Yeah.
Good
so.
choice.
Yeah.
Have you been before?
Yeah, I went with my family. And
nice.
it was really beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd probably go back.
I think Max is an expert on Hawaii. He
100%
also
with you
loves
on that.
Hawaii.
If you joined us for Youth Live at home last week, I shared photos of my time in Hawaii. It was amazing. So I'm with you, Anna. It's that's a good choice, Hawaii. I'd definitely,
choice.
I'd go that.
Absolutely. So, Anna, you're going to be reading the Bible for us tonight. What are you reading for us?
I am reading Hebrews chapter 2, verse 5 to 18.
Awesome.
Wonderful. Well, take us away. Thanks, Anna.
All right. It is not to angels that he has subjected the world to come, about which we are speaking. But there is a place where someone has testified. What is a man that you are mindful of him? The Son of Man that you care for him? You made him a little lower than the angels. You crowned him with glory and honor. You put everything under his feet. In putting everything under him, God left nothing that is not subject to him. Yet at present we do not see everything subject to him. But we see Jesus, who was made a little lower than the angels, now crowned with glory and honor because he suffered death, so that by the grace of God he might taste death for everyone. In bringing many sons to glory, it was fitting that God, for whom and through whom everything exists, should make the author of their salvation perfect through suffering. Both the one who makes men holy and those who are made holy are of the same family. So Jesus is not ashamed to call them brothers. He says, I will declare your name to my brothers. In the presence of the congregation, I will sing your praises. And again, I will put my trust in him. And again he says, here I am, and the children God has given me. Since the children have flesh and blood, he too shared in their humanity, so that by his death he might destroy him who holds the power over death, that is, the devil, and free those who all their lives were held in the slavery by their fear of death. For surely it is not the angels he helps, but Abraham's descendants. For this reason, he had to be made like his brothers in every way, in order that he might become a merciful and faithful high priest in service to God, and that he might make atonement for the sins of the people. Because he himself suffered when he was tempted, he is able to help those who are being tempted.
Well, hey there, everyone. It's good to see you embodied this time rather than just being a floating voice in the wilderness. Lovely to be online with you. Now, we are getting closer and closer to being back in person, and I know that there's great weather, except it was like meant to be storming, but sometimes it's okay and sometimes it's not at the moment. But I love that you're here. I love that we're doing this together, and thank you for being here. We are in the book of Hebrews. Max introduced us to Hebrews last week, and it's great. New Testament book, right, nestled in there towards the end. So make sure you have that open, ready to go at chapter 2 for what we're going to be looking at tonight, which I really like this passage. I think there's a lot of really kind of gold stuff in there. So let's get ready for it. That sibling game before, it was pretty tricky. Lots of people did good just getting at least one. I was very impressed. They were hard to pick up because to see the kind of similarities in a sibling and then find out who the actual other sibling is, that's hard, right? There's only small things that are carried through family members. Some siblings, of course, look exactly alike, and some siblings look almost nothing alike. One of my sisters looks quite like me, and then the other one doesn't look like either of us, and it's kind of, she's like the odd one out in the middle there. It's all a bit strange. And I wonder how much you look like your siblings. But I wonder what you reckon it would be like to be Taylor Swift's brother or sister. It's a pretty good name drop, isn't it? Be able to just go about your life, and I'm sure that you'd benefit pretty significantly from Taylor Swift being your brother or sister. You'd be able to just, get any job in the world, I reckon. Just be like, Taylor Swift's my sister. And they'd let you in, they'd give you cash for sure. You could do some big name drops as you kind of figure out, how can you use it to your advantage? And maybe it might not be so great some of the other time as well, because people wouldn't care who you were. You'd always be known as Taylor Swift's brother or sister. But do you reckon it really matters who your family is? Who your brothers and sisters are, and how famous they might be, or how much you might get out of them being your brother or sister? I reckon there's some things that would count, but I wonder how much it really matters. Well, let's get into Hebrews tonight. Last week, Max showed us Hebrews chapter 1, and it starts with this big kind of majestic view of who Jesus is. And he told us that God speaks a message of salvation through Jesus. God is saving people through Jesus. That's how big and lofty he is. And throughout the chapter, in chapter 1, the author of Hebrews talks a couple of times about Jesus being greater than angels. That's pretty good. Jesus is superior than angels. Now, I wonder what images come into your mind when you hear the word angels. It's probably like, the Christmas story. You've got angels with their nice wings and their white robes and their halos and they're glowing and they're telling people, don't fear. Might be the image you have. Now, unfortunately, in our book of Hebrews, the author doesn't really go into what angels actually look like and what they're there for, but he was writing to a people who had grown up and lived always in a Jewish culture, and they had an idea of angels which was very different to the idea that we often have. Their angels weren't soft and fairy-like. Their angels were scary. They were on fire. They had sets of wings which they covered their faces, and they were huge and they were terrifying, and people would see angels and fall down. There's bits in the Bible where people fall down scared to death of angels. Huge, burning, terrifying beings. That's the kind of image that this author is probably thinking of. And what do? Well, they're servants of God who communicates God's message. They never stop praising him. But remember, even though they're so terrifying and huge and lofty, they're not higher than Jesus. Jesus is superior to angels. In fact, compared to Jesus, they're almost nothing. And they pop back up here in chapter 2. In verse 5, in our first verse, it says, in Hebrews 2, chapter 2, verse 5, it says, "It is not to angels that he has subjected the world to come, about which we are speaking." And there's kind of some confusing language in there, the way that he structures the sentence. But basically, he's just saying again that angels might be spectacular, but they're not as good as Jesus. That's his kind of thing through the whole book of Hebrews. Jesus is better. Angels might be pretty good, but they're not as good as Jesus. They're not going to get in charge of anything. They're not in charge of heaven. They'll never be in charge of heaven, in fact. They're powerless there. They're nothing compared to Jesus. And the author even kind of pulls out some writing from the Old Testament, which he does a lot through this book. And right there in verse 6, he quotes a bit of Psalm chapter 8. And with angels and their scariness in mind, and Jesus being better than them, he kind of asks this question: what is mankind that you are mindful of them? A son of man that you care for him? See, in the scheme of things, humans aren't that special. Humans aren't giant, glowing, terrifying spiritual beings. We're just a bit like, meh. Pudgy, walking around, pretty small in the scheme of things, beings. Now, the answer to the question, what is mankind that you're mindful of him? Well, the answer is actually there's nothing really about mankind that means God should care about us, but he does. In fact, this psalm that the author is quoting shows that compared to angels, there's not much difference between humans and angels. He says that humans were made a little lower than angels, that they've been crowned with glory and honor, and everything is under their feet. That's a pretty good resume. But it's a bit confusing trying to get your head around what's the order going on here? Why are we talking about angels? Why are we talking about where humans line up? So, I've got some boxes to try and figure out where humans kind of line up in the scheme of things. Now, these boxes are masks, but don't worry about that. We've got our humans, insignificant humans. Where do they end up in the scheme of things when it comes to God and all other created things? Well, pretty clearly, God is at the top. And it seems like if humans are a little lower than angels, then they go there. If God is in charge, then he goes there. And that's pretty good, right? God, angels, humans. That makes sense. But what about other stuff, right? God made not just humans, but he made the earth, and he made the seas. And it says that God put all of these things underneath the feet of humans. He put everything under their feet, which, mind you, even includes things like death. And so if God's in charge, angels are a little bit under him, humans are a little bit under them, and humans are in charge of everything else. The seas, the earth, everything in them, and death itself is down the bottom. That's a pretty good spot for humans to be, if you ask me. That's top half. That's pretty good. And we keep reading verse 8. We find out everything there is under humans' feet. But did you catch what comes next? There in verse 8, in putting everything under them, God left nothing that is not subject to them. That's everything. Which means that humans have a pretty important place in the scheme of things of the universe, but it doesn't finish there. It says, yet at present we do not see everything subject to them. And if you look around the world, then you'll probably ask questions. You don't see the seas submitting to humans. You don't see the earth and everything in it submitting to humans. I mean, you just have to look at the news, right? And you see terrible, tsunamis. They wipe out humans. You've got things from the earth, even COVID, right? Diseases. Humans aren't above that. Humans are subject to that. Those things have power over humans. In fact, death has power over all people. So what the author is saying is that even though humans are made to be up here top half, what we see is actually this. Humans at the bottom of the stack. Humans in the worst place to be. Death is what's in charge of them. Humans aren't living up to what they were created to be. Just a little under angels. They're not up there anymore. They're all the way smack bang down the bottom. We're all stuck in the power of death. All of us humans, no matter who we are, death ends up finding us all. And it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who your siblings are. You could be Taylor Swift's brother, and you're still going to end up underneath death. You could be Taylor Swift herself, and she still is going to die one day. Death has power over all of us. We are all the way down there at the bottom. We look around, what do we see? Nothing is under our power. Nothing is under our power, which is why in verse 8 in our passage today, the author says, we do not see everything subject to them. We don't see it. But, there's a big but is the next word. You always ask why a big but's there. He says, but we do see Jesus, who was made lower than the angels for a little while, now crowned with glory and honor. So we don't see humans up where they're meant to be, but we do see Jesus. We do see Jesus. Now, what do we see him do? Well, in verse 9 there, it says that he was made lower than the angels. So Jesus is God, right? But he was made lower than the angels for a little while. Put there to be kind of like what humans were meant to be. But it doesn't end there either. He was made lower than angels for a little while, now crowned with glory and honor because he suffered death. So we see Jesus doesn't actually stay up here. He joins us down here under death. Jesus himself, God himself, who belongs at the top, finds his way down to the bottom. What's going on here? We do see this happening, even though we don't see humans where they're meant to be. Jesus gave his place up, all the way down to death. Jesus did that because he loves humans. Jesus loves humans so much that he gave up his place at the top tier to become underneath, to become lower, to become downtrodden, to go all the way down, even to death. And our chapter today says that Jesus tastes death. And that's just not like a little nibble. That's the whole thing. He experiences death. Jesus, who's meant to be at the top, who's meant to have nothing over him, dies. He goes under death himself. He's at the bottom of the pile. And he does that in verse 9, so that by the grace of God, he might taste death for everyone. Jesus goes all the way to the bottom so that he tastes death for us. So that humans don't have to be on the bottom of the pile anymore. But how do we climb out of the bottom? There's still a lot on top. How do humans get out of the bottom of the pile? Well, there's nothing that we can actually do about it. We can't claim power over any of these things because the seas will always do what they want. They won't listen to us. And I mean, just look at coronavirus. We can do all we can to try and get out of it, but it doesn't do what we want. We are still below things like the earth and all that's in it. We are at the bottom of the pile. We can't do anything. And we certainly can't claim our power over death. All of us will face death. No, we don't do anything, but instead, we are rescued from the bottom of this pile by our family. Not our actual brothers or sisters, not Taylor Swift, but Jesus. In verse 11, it says that both the one who makes people holy and those who are made holy are of the same family. So Jesus is not ashamed to call them brothers and sisters. That's talking about you and me. Jesus makes us holy. He makes us like him. That's kind of what that holy word means, set apart to be like him. Us who are at the bottom of the chain are picked by Jesus to be like him. And why? Not because anything that we do, but because he loves us. He's willing to call us brothers and sisters. That means that the creator of the universe, the person who is at the top of the tier, would call the people at the bottom brothers and sisters. It's a long way in between those two things, which means that there's a lot of grace on offer here for those people, us people who are under death, to be called family with Jesus. And it's for this reason that Jesus had to be made a human. You might have wondered, why didn't God just kind of fix everything from afar? Didn't have to get involved and do the dirty work and get down in the dumps down here at the bottom of the chain. But Jesus had to be made like us, so that when he defeated death, that victory could be for us too. That victory isn't just for top of the tier creators of the universe. That victory is for bottom of the barrel human sinners. And in making us like him, he makes us more than ever higher on this chain. Jesus starts at the top, he comes down to the bottom, he dies a death that we should have died. And in that moment, he makes us like him so that we don't have to stay at the bottom anymore. Instead, when he raises to life, he goes back to the top, and we go with him, even above angels. There's a bit in 1 Corinthians that says that we will judge angels one day. That's a pretty crazy thing. I don't know idea what it means, but we are going to be higher on the tier than angels. In heaven, in the new creation, when Jesus comes to bring all his people with him, we will be all the way up the top. And, just for theology's sake, these should be level as well. But I can't do that, so God's just going to stay up there, and Jesus is there too. We have been made like him and pulled all the way up from under death to the top. That's a lot of what's going on in this passage, trying to be represented on some masks boxes over here. But what does it actually mean for you? What does it mean that you've been made like Jesus and saved from underneath death to be like him? There's a couple of things. First of all, it means that we don't have to be afraid of death anymore. And that's what the last section of this chapter is about. That we don't have to be afraid of the power of death because Jesus broke the power of death by not staying dead. When Jesus died, it felt like death had won, but when he rose again, it meant that death was useless. Death didn't have any power anymore. He broke power, and death has no hold on us. But what does that mean? Does that mean that we just live life like stuntmen on the edge and don't have any cares in the world? Well, no, it doesn't mean that you're careless about your life. But it means that your life isn't headed towards its end in the ground. Your life doesn't end up underneath death. That's not the end. And so you don't need to be afraid of this thing. You can live your life knowing that dying is not being defeated. Death itself has been defeated, and death does not finish us. And that gives us confidence to say that we can live life to its fullest in Jesus. Which brings me to the other thing that this means for us. It means that we've got the opportunity to live life the way we were made to. Now, a lot of the time we hear people say, you've just got to be the best version of yourself. You've got to be true to who you are. Now, that's kind of what I'm saying here, but probably not in the way that you've heard it. We're not meant to just be who we think we should be or who we want to be in our hearts somewhere. We're meant to be who Jesus calls us. Jesus says that we are like him, his brothers and sisters, which means that we got to live like that. We've got to live like people who are greater than angels or will be greater than angels. We've got to live like we aren't afraid of death anymore. We've got to live the way God wants us to. And it's not a chore. It's getting to be who we really are, the top of the tier rather than at the bottom. We are children of God, and living like that is super important. The other thing we can do, because of all of this, is we can ask for help. Because living like we are made to be can be tricky, and often our fleshy bodies and minds don't want to do it. Our sinful nature drags us away from living like God's children and kind of sends us back down here. But because of what Jesus has done, becoming like us, taking on flesh and blood, having thoughts and feelings and opinions and experiencing all that we experience, we can ask him for help. Because when he did it perfectly. He lived perfectly as a human and as a child of God. And when we struggle, we can say, Jesus, it's hard. I'm struggling with this. I want to do this thing, but I know you tell me to do this. And he can say, I know exactly what you mean. That's just let that sink in a minute. That's a big deal. That God himself knows exactly what you're going through. God himself knows exactly what you're struggling with. And he's there, willing and ready to help you overcome it. Because Jesus became like us. We can call out to him like a brother. And he knows exactly what it's like. And so it doesn't matter who your family is. Well, yeah, totally. It doesn't matter who your brothers and sisters now are. It doesn't matter who your mum and dad are. But it matters if Jesus is your family. It matters if you can call Jesus your brother. Because if you can, then no longer are you down underneath death. You're up here with him. And we don't see it fully yet, like the Hebrews author said. We don't see it right now. But we do see Jesus and what he's done. And Jesus has promised that when he comes back, he'll take us all to be with him and make us how we were meant to be, fully. There's a lot of details in there. There's a lot of theology rolling around. But we've got a chance after our show's over tonight to talk about more in our small groups on Zoom. So lock any questions away in your head that you have for your leaders and ask them there. And we'll jump into that in a second. But how about I pray to just finish off this little bit now. Lord God, we thank you that Jesus didn't take hold of his place up at the top tier, that he was willing to give it up because he loves us so much. Lord Jesus, we thank you for coming down lower than angels, in fact, lower than death itself. We thank you for defeating death in the grave and leaving it dead there. Lord, we ask that you would fill us with the new life that's on offer because of what you've done by defeating death. Lord, it's hard to live this new way. It's hard to live like you are our brother. So Lord, help us when we are struggling. And thank you that you know what it's like. Help us to cry out to you and ask for help when we don't know what to do. Lord, thank you that you aren't ashamed to call us brothers and sisters. Help that fill our hearts with the joy that we can't explain, and help that reshape how we see our lives, to see them as truly important, because that's how you see them. We pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Wow. Thank you, Stu. Thank you for a clear message aided by some words on some boxes. Ellen, what stood out to you from the talk? What are you taking away from that?
I thought that was such a helpful image. I always find that passage difficult to comprehend, I think, and it's nice to have this really cool visual of like the significance of how we're being brought up through Jesus.
Yeah, nice.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, the image of him sort of coming down, picking us up, and then like taking us back up the top. For me, I loved some of that stuff right at the end, that Jesus is our brother, like that sort of, you know, relying on our family, Jesus as our family. That really resonated with me.
That's totally something to boast in, right? Because like, you know, if you were Taylor Swift's sibling, you'd be like, oh yeah, my sibling's Taylor Swift. Do that with Jesus. Just tell everyone.
The big man, he's my bro.
He's my brother. Very cool.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Well, I've enjoyed tonight. I hope you've enjoyed tonight at home as well. We just have one super exciting thing that we want to tell you about. I'm just clearing the screen so you can see it, which is just a reminder that on Friday, the 5th of November, youth is back. It's We Back Friday. I think that's like a day. We Back Friday.
That's the day.
Yeah, so come join us for We Back Friday. I don't think that's a name, actually. I think it's just that we are back, you know. Yes, that's when we're going to be back, Friday, the 5th of November. I want to see you there.
I'm so keen. Look at all these activities. We got Just Dance. We got Stacks On. Don't know what this is. Probably also Just Dance. Just Dance. We got singing. We got
people sitting.
We got
just
whatever
on the
that
ground.
is. We're going to do that again in like a few weeks on the 5th of November.
All this and more.
I'm so excited. I'm keen. I'm excited to see you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be so good. Don't miss it. Put it in your diary. Invite your friends. And we'd love to see you there. And if it was your first night tonight in particular, we'd love to see you there as well, in person, face to face, to get to meet you properly.
Absolutely. Come say hi.
Yeah, that's right. So we're gonna wrap up and head over to our discussion groups now, I believe.
We are. We're going to go on Zoom. I got the Zoom on right here. So if you have the link, you're going to see me twice.
Incredible. Right here, right now.
I'm right here. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, so come join us for discussion groups, and until next week, goodbye for now.
See you later.
See you then.